Welcome to the Cryo Spa today. Let's check this out.
We're going to cryo. Oh, I don't know. I don't like the cold.
She doesn't like
the
the
cold. We'll see how that goes.
I always make her do things she doesn't like.
No, she's so adventurous. Oh. To be continued.
Welcome to Haircolor Confessional. I'm Angela.
I'm Christine.
And I just want to say that if you have come this far with us and you have not subscribed, please do. Yes. What are you waiting for?
We're on season 2.
Come on, let's go. Get it together. Today we have a really great guest with us. And she is the owner of a Cryo Spa in Fort Worth and the owner of the Zend, Texas, a nonprofit final farm and sanctuary resource and advocacy for farm animals. Welcome, Miss Alli Chambers.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to have you.
It's good to be here.
We have so many questions for you.
Let's do it.
All right.
So we met Miss Alli when we went in and did cryotherapy. Christine and I did that.
Yes, that was the first time I had ever walked into your
You were
location.
very skeptical.
I was very skeptical because I don't like the cold.
Right.
But obviously, I have aches and pains and all that, you know, inflammation and sciatic issues. And so, yeah, I was a little nervous, but you just made me feel right at home.
Oh, good.
And walk
I
us
could be
through
convincing.
Yes, very convincing. Tell us about cryotherapy.
So, cryo was actually developed by a Japanese doctor back in 1978 for his rheumatoid arthritis patients. And it was different scientists over the years that just developed it into the cryo sauna, which is not what you guys did, but that was the original equipment. And about, I guess it was 12 or 13 years ago, it kind of became available to the public, to normal people, because there was a place in California where they actually had a cryo sauna in their home. And it was like Demi Moore and Kobe Bryant and all these A-list stars would come to their house and do cryo. And then they finally got a brick and mortar. Okay. And that's when I think Dr. Oz did a feature on it, and that's when the bubble broke and people, then the word got out. And my girlfriend, she saw it and did it and posted something on Facebook that was just like negative 250 or whatever, and I was like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Alli, you have to do this. It's for chronic pain." And I had been dealing with chronic pain issues with my back for like 10 years before that. It totally dictated my life. So I was like, sign me up, let's go, and I'll do it. And it changed my life in a week. And so we kind of looked at each other, and the timing, nobody knew what cryo was. Nobody knew what it was. It was not out yet all over the country like it is now. And the timing was just perfect. And so we built the brand and started the business back in 2013. So
how many times did you do it before you noticed?
First day, you sign up for a membership because that's what you do. You really want to do several sessions close together, especially when you get started. If you have like something you're trying to work through, you don't really know what to expect after the first time. So just doing it once, you might feel great, but how do you really know?
Right.
So for me personally, it was that third day. I started bawling at the place, just crying because I had not felt that good in so long. And it was by the 5th day where we asked the girls, it was 2 sisters, what are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to franchise? Like, what's up with this? Because I was sold in a week, and they didn't have any answers for us. And it's not their fault. I mean, they were just getting started. Like, nobody knew what was going on with the industry or anything. And Michelle and I literally got in her car that day and just looked at each other, and we were just like, let's do this. And a few weeks later, we had our location and our brand and our business model and everything.
That's awesome.
And,
so is it considered more of a franchise business that you guys took over?
We have franchise opportunities, but no, we built the brand from the ground up.
Oh, wow.
We didn't really have anybody tell us how to do anything. We essentially paved the road for every cryo place that opened in the area after us. The city had no idea what we were doing. I had to literally jump through flaming hoops to get them to understand the concept and like get around. Like the fire marshal was just, he couldn't understand what we were doing. they actually created a cryo permit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Lucky
sorry
you.
everybody.
Lucky
That was totally us. And you know, during the process, when he was trying to put all these like rules to how we did everything, I was like, do you not realize there are nitrogen tanks all over the city? You know, and I started listing like all the businesses and the universities and colleges and that just have nitrogen tanks, and he was like, they're all in violation, you know. So it was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
So we kind of paved the road. I mean, we didn't have any very little, because the industry was so young, you know, there was very little to go off. I just was so passionate about it because it literally gave me my life back.
Wow.
That just kind of fueled the whole thing, you know.
Well, as for myself, being the first time to ever walk into your establishment and I had no idea what I was walking into. So walk us through like what we do when we get there, because there's so many different services.
Right. Well, we've actually kept it. We're strictly cryo. You know, a lot of the other places will have IVs and infrared and compression, and it's like, what are you selling?
Right.
And we've been, asked multiple times, why we don't have these other services? It's just like, because we do cryo and we do it really well. You know, we've made sure we have the best equipment available all the time, and just constantly keeping up with that and making sure we do it efficient and well. But so when you walk in, basically you have your fears.
Right. Because all I know is that I'm going to be in a chamber for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to be dancing around butt naked.
Yep. So
Yeah.
whenever everybody comes in, basically we get you to fill out an account. We give you a tour, tell you about all our different services. You get to listen to music while you're in the chamber, which is really cool. So that helps a lot of people just kind of
Get to pick your own song.
Yes,
Right,
we're all
get to pick your
DJs
own
too.
song.
So we've got the song wall where all the girls, all the staff has their pick of the week. So we're all ready to go with good music, but at the same time, you know, a lot of people come in and they're funny because like we've seen people that have been coming in for years and years, and every day they have a new song. They're like, they hear a song in the car and they're like, that's my cryo song for the day.
Well, and I remember going in there and you said, okay, get completely undressed, take the robe, and we're going to put socks on, we're going to put gloves on.
Sorry, I got off track.
And we're going to put...
we have the different gear, so you can come in exactly as you are. Earmuffs. So we have everything that you need. I'm going to take a little sip.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so... Okay, so I was the first one that went in there, and
you did go first, didn't you?
Yes, I was butt naked, and I went into the chamber, and I picked out my music, and I'm like, okay, so, and you said after the first minute, it'll do a countdown, or maybe
every 30 seconds she tells you how much time you have left.
And I'm dancing, and I'm like, okay, it's getting foggy in here, and I'm still dancing, thinking, oh my God, my whole body's gonna like freeze.
Well, and so we're naked because the whole idea behind, just the concept of cryo is your skin sensors sense the cold. So you want as many skin sensors open to the cold as possible. That's why, when people ask me, I'm like, take it off. Just take it off. Guys do have to wear undies. You wear socks, slippers, earmuffs, face mask, and gloves. So we want to protect the extremities. So the cold temperatures, your brain knows something's going on, but doesn't realize you're in a controlled environment, freezing yourself on purpose.
Right.
So the whole idea is to naturally send your body into survival mode.
Yes.
And when that happens, all the blood rushes from your extremities to your core to protect your core organs, maintain that core body heat. During this time, though, like your brain is doing a systems check.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going through the list. Anything not working to its full capacity, any deficiencies you have, your brain is taking note of this. Meanwhile, all that oxygen in your core all the blood in your core, is being oxygenated and enriched with nutrients. So as soon as the session's over and you step out, all that oxygenated blood rushes back out into your system.
Right.
That's why it's so awesome for athletic recovery. I think that's what really, when you see the athletes doing it and you see these, superstars doing it, it's like, it's for recovery. It actually helps replenish your tissue with fresh oxygenated blood, so you just recover faster, you can train harder, get back at what you're doing sooner.
So as soon as I came out of that chamber, I was like, whew, put my robe on, and I think I had, part of my robe on, part of it off, and I just wrapped it up because I wanted to get the heck out of there. And then slowly but surely, I kind of defrosted.
Yeah.
And I could feel all this tingling sensation.
You feel great.
Your
And
body
it was
starts
like,
to warm up pretty
oh
quickly.
my gosh.
All of a sudden
And
you're
I
like,
was
"Woo,
like,
that
okay,
feels
this
good."
is such a unique feeling.
Invigorating.
Yes.
That's a good word, right?
Yes. And
It
then
is, 'cause
Angela
people
went in
expect
there
sometimes
and
to get hurt, like it's going to hurt, and
Yeah.
it's not really. Sometimes it gets a little cold, but it's not painful. It's more invigorating than
No,
that.
I told somebody the other day, I was talking about it, and I said, so what happens is like when you got like 30 seconds left, all of a sudden your body is like, get out, get out, get out.
Well-
and you have to just wait. You have to wait it out, and you're like, oh my God.
And you guys did the first timer, which was only 2.5 minutes. So
Right.
everybody's first time is 2.5 because it is. It's unlike anything you've ever done.
Yeah.
We
Right.
want you to have a somewhat pleasurable experience.
Right.
So you come back and
I
try to go the full 3.
The 3 minutes personally, because I don't like the cold. So it was an experience, but I definitely would do it again just to see what the 3 minutes was all about. That extra 30 seconds.
I'm sure I told you this.
Yeah.
But it's not about liking the cold or not. It's how good it makes you feel after.
Yes.
Right.
Because if we had people coming in all the time going, oh, I love to freeze, like it would be a totally different story. Like I wouldn't have to convince anybody that it's amazing, you know?
Right.
But all the time people come in that they say the same thing. Like, I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
And, whole nother podcast. I'm totally addicted to my hair dryer. Me either. Like, we like the hot, right? I do hot yoga. Like, it's for real. But now I have a whole different relationship with the cold, a whole new appreciation, and now when it is cold outside, we're like, it's not negative 250. Like, it's not even that cold. I'll be like, oh, and like pull it together. Right. It's not even that
it's
cold.
only for a few seconds.
Yeah.
But
Cryo,
minutes.
yeah. I mean, like you can do anything for 3 minutes.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember going home that afternoon and I think I fell asleep because I was so exhausted and I was just tired but yeah, it was definitely a good experience.
That's interesting that you say that because when you're in there, like you do release all these endorphins. Your serotonin production is increased.
Yeah.
Serotonin is great for energy, focus. It even helps us sleep better though.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of people report sleeping better, but taking a good nap, like it's almost as if, okay, the list of benefits goes on forever.
Right.
And it's kind of like.
I'd love to hear them.
Well, it's no inflammation. You're going to sleep better, improved focus. Like there's all these things. It helps with some people with like depression and anxiety and these kinds of things. But that's because of the serotonin. But it's like to hear back people's feedback. They're like, I slept better than I've ever slept in my life.
Right. I have a high energy level to begin with. Mm-hmm. So for me to be knocked down and just like fall asleep instantly, I mean, that's pretty miraculous.
Good.
It's excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
But I do that also in hot yoga too. So
do you?
Yeah.
Well, we got started doing yoga and then cryo right after.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful combination to go sweat because we started with Bikram. Like hour and a half.
Right.
And you literally it's 105 degrees, I'm pretty sure, and then go straight over to cryo and you can't have a bad day. After that. But I was saying about all the benefits, it's like the reason there's so many is because essentially it caters to your body. So whatever's going on with you, it's like cryo just kind of meets you where you are and improves upon it, So that's why the list can kind of go on forever. It's like, oh, it does all these things.
Because your body's just healing itself.
It's real because it just, whatever you've got going on, it can help. And that list just keeps getting longer and longer of potential benefits,
I love it. So tell us about some of your other services. You've got the facial, the
cryo facials are amazing.
Okay.
They're 10 minutes and we do the scalp, face, neck, and chest. On the scalp, it actually helps with follicle thickness and growth. So it's good for, any kind of thinning hair, anything like that. On the face, it's going to also increase the collagen production. So it's good for fine lines and wrinkles, blemishes, acne. We see a lot of teenage kids that come in, or not even, I guess you don't have to be a teenager to have acne, but it's amazing how they'll be trying all these different creams and pills, and then they come in and do cryofacials regularly, and their skin clears up. It's really incredible.
Is that a once a week, a once a month?
Depends on what your goals are.
Okay.
So, like, you can do it every single day. And a lot of people do just because it's like that 10 minutes to just check out, relax. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. I'm one of the people, like, if I'm getting a massage, please don't talk to me. And I'm the same way with the facial. Like, but all of our techs, like, we let the client kind of lead the way. If they want to talk, great, we can chat all day. But this is also a time you don't have to talk, relax for 10 minutes. And then a lot of times when we're done, people are like almost asleep.
Yeah.
And so we'll just kind of let ourselves out of the room and let you take your time. Nobody's going to tell anybody if you took a little nap, it's fine. We do a little bit of aromatherapy before every facial too. So
I've done the facial twice.
Oh,
and I took
nice.
Nicole in because she has blemishes sometimes that she can't get rid of. And so
what's really cool, I didn't mention, is it was created for aesthetic purposes. But what we've learned over the years is it goes further than that. Is like sinus pressure, congestion, allergies, migraines, headaches. It's just they're so good. But yeah, I don't think when they designed it, they didn't realize that it was going to be great for all these other things too.
Yeah.
I mean, hangovers even. We have people that swear by it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so walk me through it because I'm used to doing regular facials that last about 90 minutes.
Right.
So this one only lasts for about 10 minutes.
And you don't want to go longer than that. It's too cold.
So is it putting the
nitrogen vapors directly to your skin? Like we don't touch your skin.
It's like a tube that comes out.
Yeah. So it's the same. Well, I guess it's a little different than the chamber because in the chamber you're not in direct contact with the nitrogen. The reason it's foggy, like you'd said, is because the air is so cold, it's actually crystallized. So
Okay.
when you're doing the facials, you actually have the vaporized liquid nitrogen coming out in like a kind of an airstream. So you can actually see it. It's, almost looks like a paintbrush.
So
when we're
you're
doing the
actually
facials.
applying it
To
over the skin
yes,
and
exactly.
and the scalp.
And when you're experiencing it, you can literally feel your face. You can feel it freeze up as it goes over it.
Oh, wow.
So, it's funny, the last couple of years I've seen magazine articles and stuff where girls are doing the ice cubes on their face. And it's like, oh, it's like it's cryofacial, but it's like, this is exactly
right.
what
With the
it
cold
is.
compressions.
Well, I mean, we're not touching you. So it's not
Right.
compression, but it still creates that vasodilation and vasoconstriction to where it gets the blood flowing. So it makes your skin glow.
So how do you prep up for the skin? I mean, do I
You can come in exactly as you are. You can have a
Okay.
full face of makeup.
So you can have
It's
makeup
not going
on.
to affect what you're
So
doing
you're not
at
really
all.
removing the makeup. You're actually just doing the cryo on the face.
They're actually quite different from a traditional facial.
Okay.
Like with all the creams and massages
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, it's totally different.
They don't even really touch your face.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
do
I've
a little
never had
scalp
one.
massage while
Yeah.
we're doing the scalp, just because everybody who doesn't like having their hair
my
played
God,
with,
right, right.
So we just kind of add that in there as just a little thing because we know everybody likes it. But yeah, we don't actually touch your face.
Okay. And then I heard that you have an oxygen bar as well.
We do.
And what is that all about?
So the air we breathe is 21% oxygen. We have a machine. It's not medical grade oxygen at all, but it takes the ambient air from the room and separates the molecules and then sends back about 91% oxygen through the little nose piece. We give you a nose cannula to wear. You've seen probably the O2 bars like in Vegas or in Vail, like when you're up in the high altitudes.
Right. You put on the mask and then you breathe it in.
Yeah,
and-
so this is the reason ours is just a little bit, I think it's better. A lot of those places just have synthetic oils, like fragrances, bubbling through the oxygen so you have a scent, but we actually use organic, just food grade essential oils. So you're actually getting the aromatherapy benefits as well as the oxygen, which is good for focus. We have a lot of like college kids, they'll come sit on there and write their papers and stuff. They feel like they get on there and just can focus. And then we have a lot of people that just, once again, it's a moment to just kind of check out, take a break for the day. All of our services are relatively quick, especially whole body when, most of our clients are members. So they're in and out every day. It's perfectly safe to cryo every day. We recommend it. Cryo is a lifestyle. The more you do it, the better you feel, right?
And it sounds like it caters to all age categories.
It does.
So
100%.
You could be a younger person, you can be a college student, you could be an older person.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like we
You
wake
could be
up
an
and
animal.
you could actually, yeah, they actually do cryo for dogs. That's funny though. Actually, the Texas Department of the Vet Board didn't like it.
Oh, because I
So,
noticed that
we
did have
because
that.
my golden retriever, he had to have ACL surgery and he would get hot spots. He's allergic to the grass, we've learned, and so I would bring him in because we're dog friendly. So we usually, Louie and Bubba were always up there with us when they were younger, and I started doing it on him, and he healed so quickly, and they love it. They absolutely love it. However, apparently we were practicing without a license, which is kind of silly. It's not medicine, it's an alternative therapy, so we discussed it with them and they didn't really, they thought we were working with nitrogen or hydrogen. So I don't think they actually fully understood what we were doing anyways, but also choose your battles.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were like, whatever, so many dogs loved it and benefited from it, but we actually don't provide that anymore, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, and you have two locations. You've got one in Fort Worth and one in Dallas.
We do.
Yes.
That's exciting.
So we're over on Fox Street, right over in the Cultural District off of West 7th, which, is pretty poppin'.
Yes.
These days. So we're kind of right over there with all the bars. So there used to be a lot of gyms. When we first opened, there were a couple of gyms and stuff like that. And it's grown quite a bit since then. But it's great because everybody sees our neon. And we actually get a lot of people coming in going, I was out drinking with friends and saw it and wanted to come in and try it.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And then
That'd be great for hangovers, like you said.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you're dehydrated and you come
I know
in
we don't market that probably as much as we
No.
should. We could probably actually pull in a lot more clientele if we actually made that a
sign on the window.
Focus on that for a second.
Right.
Yeah, especially where we are. That's funny.
Amazing for hangovers.
Note for
we
later.
have happy hour from 2 to 4.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Yeah, and then our Dallas location is over off of Lovers and Inwood.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's-
now tell us about the monthly membership.
So most of our clients are members, and that just allows you to come once a day, every day. You get to choose your service, which is great. We implemented that a couple of years ago where, you don't have to just do cryo. If you want to do a facial that day, great. Do a facial, or you can do up to 2 locals. There's a lot of perks that go along with having the membership. If you wanted to do an additional service in the same day, it's discounted. You get free access to the O2 bar.
Okay.
So so there's just some perks to doing the membership. We really encourage people to make it a part of their lifestyle and like their daily routine.
Right.
And with it only being 3 minutes, it's really actually doable to do that. You know?
And I think the bonus was that when we got done with our services, we had some kind of green
Our
water.
chlorophyll water.
Right?
Yes, the chlorophyll water.
That was a bonus.
It is. And I fell in love with it. My husband and I, before we started the sanctuary, we used to travel all the time. And I would go get massages and go to the spas wherever we go. And down in Mexico, they had chlorophyll water. And I just totally fell in love with it. And so when we opened, I told Michelle, I was like, we should definitely have chlorophyll water. And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. And at first, we just served it. And then people would go, I guess, like to Sunflower Shop or whatever and try to buy it. And they'd come back and they're like, I bought some and it's disgusting. Like, what are you, giving us? Because it's Nature Sunshine, which you have to like buy into it to be able to purchase it. And so, I guess not buy into it, but you have to like be a director or whatever,
Right.
And so we were like, well, maybe we should sell it. And it's one of our best sellers. I mean, we can't, literally, it flies off the shelf.
Oh my gosh, so you do retail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that it helped me tremendously because I was dehydrated and it kind of put my body
got some mint oil in
Yeah.
it. And so chlorophyll is what makes plants green.
Okay.
It's a natural anti-inflammatory, which is what we do. That's what we're all about. It's good for digestion. It helps remove heavy toxic metals from your blood, which we're all exposed to on a constant basis and don't even realize it. But it's just good. So it just kind of goes together with all of the natural awesomeness.
I love it.
Everything else,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Zend Zoo.
So, I know we're not really a zoo. The Zend, it's the Zend Final Farm and Sanctuary. It all started, my husband and I watched 2 documentaries back in 2017. I mean, it didn't like all start there. I was a vegetarian for many years before. My husband's always been, concerned with the environment. We've always tried to do what we can to be, doing our part to try to save the planet and not destroy it,
Right.
And so back in 2017, he and I watched 2 documentaries one afternoon. We watched What the Health, which is on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to watch that. It's on my queue.
You should. What the Health, and then Earthlings, which is on YouTube. And it's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix, who's a huge animal rights advocate. And it's about speciesism. So speciesism is where like humans just have dominion over everything. Like we just think can control it all.
We do.
Right. Yeah, it's like it shouldn't be that way. We're all Earthlings. We're all here sharing this planet, but yet we've literally like made everybody our slaves, and it's the way we just do everything.
Right.
So anyways, without getting too deep into that, because I could talk about that for hours, we decided to go vegan that day. And we just made a promise to the animals mostly, ourselves, the planet, that we would just do better, And so it took a while to kind of transition, but we got all the animal products out of our kitchen and out of our lives in general. And it was a couple of months later, we were just drinking wine and listening to music, and we were like, let's start a farm animal sanctuary. Because that's what you do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is it open to the public?
We do private tours.
Okay.
And we also sell tickets for like open farm days. We're not doing any in the summer because it's just so,
Too
it
hot.
has been, the weather is probably the hardest part. I mean, caring for the animals and learning everything and doing all that is one thing, but that's a pleasure. The weather is the hardest part of doing this. It's been really scary. This heat's deadly. We are out there all day, every day, checking on everybody, cold water bottles, fresh water. It's been crazy.
Do you guys live there?
We do.
Okay.
So I'll back up just a smidge. So we decided to start the sanctuary, and I'd started a business before, so I kind of had a little bit of an idea, but I'd never set up a 501c3. We are a registered nonprofit. So once I figured that out, then it's like 2018. I finally got our 501c3 in June of 2018.
Okay.
And then, we still didn't know what we were doing because we lived in Watauga. We'd bought a house back when we were 23 years old. We'd lived there almost 17 years. At the time, we had 14 animals. We decided, okay, like we're going to do this. So we had cats and dogs and chickens and bunnies. I think that's it back then. Yeah. And so, we started packing up our house. This was now like fall of 2019. So we pack up our house and we're just going to figure it out. We're going to like pack up we knew we had to move all our animals to my mom's in Bedford, where I grew up, because you can't show and sell a house with 14 animals in it.
Right.
And so we're like, okay. And my mom's cool. She's very supportive of all my things. So, we were like, okay, we're going to move the animals to yours. We're going to sell this house and we'll figure it out. If we had to live with her for a little bit while we figured it out, she was fine with that too. So we got our house packed up. And then 2020 happened. Nothing. Right. So we lived in our house for like a year and a half, and with our boxes, didn't unpack because I wanted to just like put pictures back on the wall, you know, because like we had nothing up. And Justin's like, dude, I don't want to pack twice. And I was like, okay, you're right. I don't either.
So you packed but didn't move?
No, because COVID happened. So like nothing happened. You know, everything was like at a standstill. Yeah. And so, and like my mom was definitely high risk. She's older, pacemaker. Like I was still working and around people who were sick all the time. Like I'm not going to go. I didn't hug my mom for over a year, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So that whole plan was just put on the back shelf. And then once everything chilled out, we got the ball rolling in. So like a year and a half later, we're getting the ball rolling, and we move into her house. Our house sold quick. The market was hot, y'all. It was like perfect timing. COVID, it actually was really good that we waited because we got, you know, it was just, everything worked out great. So we got our house sold, and we're living at my mom's when one of my clients from the Cryo Spa calls, and he says, Alli, I've got this baby lamb whose mama doesn't want it. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes, but we're in the suburbs in Bedford. We didn't have the farm yet. We didn't know where we were going. But how am I supposed to say no?
I have an extra room.
Like, I know what's going to happen to her if I say no, you know? So I was like, yes. And it's actually quite a longer story, but I ended up getting her, and she was 5 days old. I get her home. We scrub her up. She was dirty. We give her a bottle, you know, just get her all cleaned up. My mom was waiting with like a, you know, soapy water and warm water out back when I got there. And of course, my husband and my mom were both like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I can't say no though. Like, we are starting a sanctuary, and this is the first baby that needs us. Like, I can't say no. So we now are at my mom's with a baby lamb and 17 other animals. So we now have 18 animals with all of our kids combined.
Oh my gosh.
And during this time, she decides she's going to sell her house and move with us and start the farm with us.
Okay.
So it turned into this whole thing. So now we have 18 animals. Anyways, we managed to get a bridge loan, find the property, got moved, then sold her house that we built like 32 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we all live at the Zend together.
Okay.
We're on 6.5 acres out in Justin. And in the last almost 2 years, we've saved over 100 animals. We haven't necessarily kept them all. I'm also just being in the rescue world.
I'm so curious, how many animals do you have now?
We currently care for 60. We have 60 residents that we care for every day.
And do you have a collection of everything? Lambs
we
and
do.
goats
so we
and
have 12
zebras
species at the moment.
Okay.
I can give you a little breakdown.
Yes.
Okay, so inside we have 6 cats and 4 dogs. All the kitties are rescues. The dogs, not so much. We had them before we got here, so before we started the sanctuary. We did get Maya and Atlas. They're our Great Pyrenees because we're starting a farm, so we got some, livestock guardian dogs.
Yes.
However, they are house dogs. They are not farm dogs. That didn't work out like we had planned.
Right.
But that's okay. So that's inside, and then every once in a while, or not ever, pretty frequently, we'll have a baby animal that we have a pack and play in the house that's always open and ready for any intakes that need to stay inside. We actually bring the bunnies in during the heat, so they're inside in the pack and play all day, every day before they go back out at night. So in the backyard, we have Pele and Pepper, a chicken and a rooster.
I was going to say, you have to have some chickens.
Well, Pele's our house rooster because we already have another rooster out back, and they will fight. So we have them separated. So Pepper and Pele live in the backyard, and then Ruckus and Ruka are the bunnies. And then you go outside, and there are 14 other chickens, or hens, 13 hens and 1 rooster.
Oh my gosh.
Pico de Gallo.
You have a lot of eggs every day.
We do, but we don't consume them. So we actually feed them back to the chickens because the whole process of laying eggs for hens is extremely, it's very taxing on their bodies. Most backyard or egg laying hens will die prematurely from reproductive issues. So it's just, we feed them back to them, and it replenishes the nutrients that they lost.
Yeah, because they can lay
the egg.
1 or 2 eggs per chicken, right?
Well, so in nature, if we had left them alone, they would ovulate monthly just like we do. So they'd lay anywhere from like 10 to 15 eggs a year. But the way we have manipulated and sped up the breeding process, they now lay an egg every day. That's why it's so taxing on them. And they'll usually die prematurely from complications, like eggs get stuck, things like that.
Right.
But no, we just put them on the ground, we crack them on the ground, and they gobble them up. They absolutely love it.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. And the same with the ducks. So 14
they lay
chickens
eggs as well.
And then we have 10 ducks, 4 goats, 3 sheep, 5 big farm pigs, which pig is my love language. I didn't know this, but
Are they pink?
2 of them are. We have a Yorkshire and a Yorkshire appearing cross. That's Hank and Jitterbug, and we sunscreen them every day.
So my friend Mary has 11 piglets, and she doesn't want to keep them all.
There are so many animals that need to be saved every single day. It's shocking.
Will you let me know if you want some piglets?
It's not a matter of me wanting piglets, because I would have
cute when they're
100
little.
pigs if I could.
But there's probably different breeds, and there's probably
it's
different
a lot
sizes.
of work, and it's a lot of money. It's a
Yeah.
huge commitment. When most pigs are slaughtered about 6 months of age, so they're all babies when they're killed or raised and killed for food. These guys are going to live to be 15 or 20 years old if they're given proper care. So it's a long time, and it's not something we can just be like, oh yeah, we'll take them because I love them.
Right.
It's really,
you're going to take it on for a long
we
period
really
of time.
have to take into consideration our resources, our donors, like, what do we have coming in monthly? Because we're completely donor funded. Yes, Justin and I donate quite a bit of our income to the sanctuary, but we are donor funded and count on supporters and donors to be able to do the work we do. So it's really hard because there's so many rehoming situations where people just can't take care of them anymore. But when you take on all these unwanted animals, then you're left with no space for emergencies, no space for like hoarding rescues. It's just very tricky to have to saying no is the hardest thing I've had to ever do. I've been learning that for sure. It's definitely
Is
difficult.
there a turnover on your animals, or do you keep them for a
yeah,
long period of time?
I will try helping rehome. I do it all the time, constantly. But yeah, it's the guys that we have are there to stay. It's the final farm and sanctuary.
That's what I figured.
We've made a promise of like long-term compassionate care, so vet care, quality food. They're spoiled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are your
so
babies.
Awesome.
They are. They're our babies. We also have 4 longhorns,
Okay.
2 donkeys, and 2 turkeys, and a tortoise.
Okay, that is just amazing, and we'll have to go visit. We'll have to go
Definitely.
visit.
That would be wonderful.
That'd be great. We would love to do that. Okay, so before we leave, we're going to talk about products real quick.
Okay.
And Christine, you want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is my must product. So it's California Mango, and it smells really good. It's for dry skin, and I like to put it on my heels.
Oh.
And I like to put it on my elbows. But it's a little greasy, but it works really
try
well.
it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do my elbows.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite products. I got it at a
it's like
hair
a wax.
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
kind of. Or I was expecting it to be
No,
jelly.
it's a wax. So it's pretty good.
So my thing is the Living Proof Control Hairspray, which I love. It's a firm hold, but it's not too firm. It's not like sticky and stiff. It doesn't turn into like cement, but it holds it, and I use it. You can spray it over and over again, and it doesn't leave like a flaky mess.
Right.
So what'd you bring?
I brought my Dream Curls.
Oh.
I've actually used this for years and years and years. I have tried so many other curl products. I've see new things and buy them and try them, and I always end up back to this. It's just the best. It's not crunchy at all. It's I don't want crunchy sticky curls. It's just
John
Is it a
Frieda.
spray?
Frieda.
A spray on?
spritz, which
Spray
is
on
super easy.
spritz?
Yeah.
Dream
So
curls.
you put it on after you shampoo.
And I
after you towel dry
I only
and-
shampoo like every 3 or 4 days because of my curls. But yeah, so towel dry with the towel like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of scrunch it and spray it on, and then I don't touch it until it dries.
Okay.
And then I can pull it up or do it. My hair usually ends up in a bun.
Reapply it every day?
Yeah, I have to get my hair wet every day.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a mess.
I'm so curious on how everybody does their hair.
Yeah, well,
Especially with
makes
curls.
sense.
Yeah.
That's the territory.
Right. Well, Alli, thanks so much for coming
It was a
and being on our
pleasure.
podcast. We really appreciate you joining us, and
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
we enjoyed your company.
Well, good.
And would you please tell everyone how that they can find you?
Yes. So for the Cryo Spa, we have our website is www.ilovecryo.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well at the Cryo Spa and the Cryo Spa _Dallas for our Dallas location. And then the Zend is the zendtx.org. That's our website. Or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at the ZendTX. And that's TheZendTX.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We really
guys.
do appreciate you coming on.
It's fun.
Well, hey, like this episode before you go. And I'm Angela.
I'm Christine.
And thanks for watching Haircolor Confessional. Bye.